We topic for today. At the start of the program, we will make a moment of silence. We observe them. We will look at the National Primary School Examination we just done on the 3rd of August 2020. This particular one, the young man and his small sister, they go take the exam at the exam hall. However, then get into a motorbike, and on the way, then get an accident. And this accident take the life of the young man. His sister will be there accompany him for go. According to waiting we learn, and carry the young man go for first aid, treatment. You see the picture, you go see some bruises in his head, we get plaster in his head, in hand and all that thing, and can go for treatment. But then say the young man insisted that he wants to take the examination. And then can go, he go take the exam. Everybody glad for that part of that story there, and then call him a hero. Say, for this 2020, he show a brave act, and he be somebody we able for stand. With waiting just happen in his presence, he lost his sister, but he still insists he want to take the exam. Then you get other people that will come now with a different argument. Say, with waiting happen, maybe the young man not be they think wisely. So the adult then for be make decision for her, for stop and say enough for being good. But you go can't hear, because this question was posed to the Minister of Basic and Senior Secondary School, Dr. David Moinena-Senge, this morning on Radio Democracy. Then try to get a definite answer from him. Say, what thing you say about this? He was not. But you go if you begin an answer, I go just give a blanket one way. You go pick what thing he say anyway. But before that, make we come with the COVID-19 status update for today, the 4th of August 2020. 186 samples were analyzed. 186 samples, the lab them analyzed na salon. Remember, yesterday we get 64. Then, yesterday on balance, all the inside the so. Now each 186 so. I can look for the remind we, make we know exactly, say, the number of tests that is being conducted in Sierra Leone. A very small nowadays. If you look you go find out say from the inter-district lockdown, they don't pull then the churches and mosques that don't open, and all those places, like everything that's okay, when I do the precaution, like people, they just feel say, okay, you know it is over. Eh? But me could take note. Out of this 186 samples where they analyzed, 7 be positive. 7 positive na incommodity. Out of the 7, make we just show whose districts them we get the numbers here. Pujeun 1, Bombali 1, Kenema 1, Kailaon 4. Again, Kailaon, what is going on? Kailan they register number every day now, then they get number for we. What is going on in Kailan? Now, so be the ask for free tongue. Waiting they go on. Waiting they go on at Kailan. What are we missing? Eh? We will get fumble Lendi. Please. We need for talk to them. Okay? Make we give the balance numbers them for today. Cumulative confirmed case don't reach now to 1,855. 1,855. Total number of death, we still stand at 67 because for the past 24 hours, nobody now lost in life to COVID-19. Active cases them right now at the isolation center, now 391. 391. We should say we don't drop back below 400. We just can't wait for the day we will drop below 300. But we not can stay long below that 400 mark. We not can stay long there, but we go keep our eyes on it. For the past 24 hours, 22 people recover from COVID-19 in Salone. We don't carry the cumulative recovery numbers to 1,397. 1,397. The one that more in quarantine right now, now 643. 643. And in the back we can look for make we data below 500 mark. But now we don't go 650 with the fence. So number discharge from quarantine now 9,723. 9,723. Are the numbers then this for COVID-19 today. We will get family na Kailan. Please make we ask them waiting they go on. Then they really need for backup. They need for backup. Better one. Well, they come to our main topic for today. The NPSC examination and the hero boy. And I don't watch, I see a lot of people, they in support for say this young man not be supposed to take the exam. And same way so, a lot of people, they support the young man for say he was a brave young man for make he able for take the exam. However, you think say the minister answer the question? Because in the basic, now the way we don't they look at examination like them wire. What this young man feels say, without me taking this exam, maybe I no go secondary school. I go left back na primary school. But it say make we not try for criticize. They want them way help for take the decision. Say make this young man take the examination. We self being get to own go make you go watch the video na YouTube. Make you see how them parents and be get na do. And waiting then say na the reason we make then see don't they wait for them picking them as them picking them be they inside the exam halls them they take exam. We come back to the hero boy. We focus on small on today on topic, and also the examination we the picking them take as a whole. Make we out Usman Thorley, make we waiting in get for we today. Yes, Usman Thorley, you get the platform, sir.
Okay, first, make I take this moment for express my condolence to the family of the pikin wey die, we involved in this gruesome accident, and also to this brave boy, very, very brave. And also, I would thank the Minister of Basic and Senior Education for the fantastic job they do. As soon as they listen to the people, their own recommendations, and see the exam, they go very well as compared to the other years then. So meaning they do a good job. Now I'll come to the main story. As you're listening to the minister himself, he was quite empathetic in the sense that he sympathized with the situation. He put himself in the shoes of the invigilators then, and he was also critical. By this I mean he looked at it from both perspectives in terms of what happened to the Peking, whether if we don't take the exam or if we don't take the exam. But what I will do, I will look at myself from a critical approach. And first of all, I'll set the record straight. And later I will explain to you why me take that view there. I think they're not for to allow the speaking for take this exam. And I will explain to you why. And I think so too, the minister understands they're not for to allow the speaking for take the exam there. So if you listen to the interview with the interviewer, no one goes straight to that. He was very professional. It will be of any justice to the invigilator or to whosoever we allow the Peking for take the exam. Instead, he try to look at them from a critical approach by looking at both sides of the story. But if you now possibly able to assess, you will not say himself no say they're not for that allow that Peking for take the exam there. But I will explain to you I give you some reasons then. This is why sometimes in the we need what we call professional development, training. Again, for the train people for understand the processes, the procedures, how things they evolve over time, so that people then will be able to take decisions that will be responsible and appropriate. So, although the minister argued on both sides in terms of the bravery of the boy, how determined the boy did for go take the exam, despite of all this, what did not happen to his sister. Yeah, he was very brave, he volunteered, but at the same time, you think, say, this speaking for don't go take the exam? Those are the issues we want just throw light on. But before they go into that, in certain examinations or any other setting, normally there are processes and procedures then, where people follow when incident take place. Yeah? In the case of invigilating exams, I know say there are processes. Normally, we not expect, say, the invigilators, we not go say past the invigilators, so now they take these decisions. There are senior people where then tear happen, where then they consult for make decisions then. So those are processes and procedures then. We are facing whoever, when are the senior person, for don't come inside and take a decision. As you listen to the audio, one of the schools then say a supervisor of the day. This is why in the role of a supervisor can come for can't take decisions then. We now wise decisions, if we're able to think on in fit and make a decision where it go there in the interest of the body. Right? In the absence of this, I go argue. Yeah? Why I feel say they're not for not allow this young man to take this exam? Simply put, I will use a simple concept called Maslow hierarchy of needs. Maslow, he arranged with needs in 5 tiers, 5 layers then. Yeah? And when you look at those layers, Yeah, it's first of all, for human beings, the most important one, 9 and core physiological needs. We talk about food, water, you rest, you warm, feeling good, you know. Then you talk about safety, security. Yeah, so those are the most important needs. Yeah, in as much as this boy is very determined to take the exam. Yeah, but in safety, in health is paramount. Put it this way: we don't see people that are not involved in accident. That moment it will feel good. Yeah, after 2-3 hours, you will really see that person don't die. We've seen that over and over, many times. So, considering Maslow hierarchy of needs, I think the most important thing here, look at the injuries of this boy. It might look, externally look good, and he's only a young boy. You know, it's very difficult to take a decision where they are your interest at that point. Yeah? So, I think, whoever will be the invigilator or supervisor or the person in charge, for don't come up with the idea, this boy, his health and safety is paramount among all other things else. Yeah? Ambulance, indeed, this boy needs further examination. It might look good that time. It might, it will look good. But who knows what will happen in the next 2 to 3 hours? Yeah? Whether internal injury there is, right? Who knows? Yeah? Whether there's bleeding the groin. That first aid is not enough. Especially an accident where his sister already died. That's serious. That determines the seriousness of the accident. That don't tell you, this accident is very serious. So that boy needs to be hospitalized and then examine her further. He can take the exam any other time. He can take her next year. Doesn't matter. But I think the safety, the well-being, the health of that boy is paramount. And it's very critical for him to take any thorough decision at that point in time. I will ignore the boy's own decision and do what I feel is right for that young man there. Yeah? And for crown me on argument, this is why we again and again, over and over, we continue to criticize the government here. These are some of the consequences of bad governance. These are the consequences of nearly 60 years of bad governance. Poor road network. Yeah? No proper planning. Yeah? Poor service delivery. Yeah? In a situation like that, I believe, ambulance for don't come inside. We forget a proper system where they actually manage short, difficult situations. But I believe, as I said no more, bad governance are some of the consequences. We can scan at them forum here, we argue, we critically assess policy them, issues them, management. Now some of the consequences then is will always call on the government. We cry down some of the bad things and with the government they do and praise them where necessary. We know this not to the Minister of Education even for this. He's very determined young man. We're ready to see the success of education. But this now things them where don't they happen over the years. Because maybe the road bad, maybe some of them go there for going at them school are not motorable, even if school buses then there, but because of poor road network, consequently result to most of the young men have to take motorbike for going at them schools then. So these are some of the consequences. I make constantly at them forum here, we call on the government and all the one that were involved in the administration for let them do justice to we. So, my own submission that I'm not sure other people that will get their own submission, but I think the minister himself is fully aware that that boy should not have been allowed to take that exam simply because the boy will make his own determination and he gets some psychological trauma, not only to himself, but to the other students. So therefore, it is clear on the walls, try to be professional so that will cry down the system, will cry down whoever the invigilator will be invigilate the exam. So they just play on them. But anyway, that's the way it is. Thank you very much, Triple A. And I will give a chance to the other panelists. Sorry.
All right. Thank you very much, Usman Toli. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Make a come with Dr. Mikuyeri. What's in get for it today? Yes, Dr. Aissatou Kakejalo, you get the platform.
Yeah, hi. Good evening and good morning, and I hope everybody they do well. With COVID-19 numbers, I want to say definitely the good thing, the numbers, and they go under the 400 mark. That's a good one, and with the hopes that we stay there or even go a little lower, So, and also, the district, then we don't begin to report high cases that I believe we need more sensitization at the communities, for a lot of people that are aware of which they go on, at the country in order for make we promptly identify, diagnose and try to isolate patients, and that way they will contain the virus where they go on. And for the young man, the topic of the day, I want to say the family member we passed away, we had a sister. I want to say may her soul rest in perfect peace. We really is sad for see a young person they lose their life. I don't know how old the sister was, and this young man, was definitely a brave one. I'm sure he's probably around the age of, the age, AAA, did they mention that, how old he was?
No, I believe say they between 10 and 12.
Okay, so around there, just they finish primary school, they try for go secondary school. I'm sure there's a lot of excitement, about the exam, given the fact that, COVID-19 don't keep so many people in our house, and that alone, if we don't study, it really make him so eager. But, as, depending on what I want for Sina, so it depends on how the news was presented to the young man, and also it depends on how, the treatment was rendered, even though you don't mention first aid, and maybe they only do that on the spot. They don't say, okay, well, accident don't happen. We need to rush the victims to the nearest health center, because if they been do that, I'm sure this young man, for they consider for say I go ahead and take an exam, because see the process alone now hospital, the number of people that they already surround you for take care of you, it's a lot. By the time all that they done, it would forget about the exam to start with, even though it was eager, he want to take the exam, he want to make sure they promote now the next ladder, or the next class, go secondary school. And also, picking them let for compete. And if this not person way very, they do well in school, go one for seeing self, the repeat class. But that, again, I want to really say this here. There's a psychological problem in this, there's a psychological effect, not to a problem for say, the person get a psych problem, but really not a psychological effect now take place now this young boy in life at that moment. So I don't previously mention before about the stages of grief where people then they go through, whether then they lose their homes, whether then they lose family members or loved ones, or they experience illness, now last 5 stages when Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, now a model where they talk about the stages of grief And the first thing we person the experience with that, now the denial aspect of it. So this young man was in that phase of the denial, where he be say, he try for avoid the situation, he been confused at the time, he don't experience a shocking news, and also the fear of not, going ahead with the exam, what it would lead to, for him not, promoting and all those things. And also now it don't become a shock to him. His sister don't pass away, and also it confused, don't know how to make decisions. Now they adults then come in, for try for educate the young man on, waiting for do at this moment, and also, but at the same time, if they try for avoid the situation because it ain't at the denial phase. And then you go understand maybe if the people that are around this young man, then will begin to understand. So the next stage is where it get for falling to now the anger stage. The anger where it become frustrated and it become irritable, and then they develop some anxiety in terms of what can happen to his sister. What if we know that frustration, they begin to come, it is sinking. They say, maybe I don't go for take this exam, I don't show some concern or love. But I'm not saying that he did not do that because he's a young boy. He's still probably not even a teenager yet, right? So we talk about teens when then they like 13 up to 18 years old. So and then it finish with that stage, it lead into the depression. We're at the third stage of this grief process. During the depression, the person, they become very overwhelmed, they become very hostile, and they're going to be like hopeless and things like that. And as then they complete that stage, then they go into the bargaining stage where we see now, then they try for make amends in terms of how then we fix the solution or the problem. For say, what, if this happened, if I wish my sister didn't, I didn't lose my sister, I hope this didn't happen, things like that, and then the last stage, when at the fifth stage, when at the acceptance, it will finally come to the conclusion, say, what, this don't happen, make I accept them. And I want to say this, no matter how old you are, everybody they go through this. We don't get picking them where they lose their parents and, in accidents. They're not the only surviving victim, person with among them, at a very young age, maybe 8, 9, or even younger, they come to a point that they accept the situation. So, but at the moment, at this stage where this thing happens, this young man in a denial phase, and that's what was happening. And the invigilators, I really don't want to fault them, because what, for them, they are not the real parents of this child to make that decision. They're not the medical personnel to say, what, there's a psychological thing going on here. It would have been nice, let's say the school then get like a social worker or a psychiatrist, where they talk to picking them in terms of, situations like this. Even if they picking the intent for take the exam, but talking to the psychologist, or the social worker would have really helped the situation, and then they will make other accommodations for the picking for let you go ahead and take the exam. But at this point, there should not be any blame towards, the invigilators, because they were just there to invigilate the examination. But it would have been nice for us to have, like a parent, a psychologist or social worker. Trust me, these are things that are needed in school facilities, and we really hope say this is not something where the government, the Ministry of Education will look into, but ensure the schools them get them things they are so within our school for help with support, because in as much as we want for picking the land, some people they go through so much trauma even at home, but just having that psychologist, that social worker around in the school setting, they really help in how they can come out or turn out. They avoid a lot of things and where they go on, they can intervene very early, and then it can help the person. So these are some of the fields where people then for begin to look into as they attend college now we country for no say now field where BC it could be beneficial to people then around the country, and not something we would then go utilize eventually. So we really hope we not go experience that kind here. It's really sad, and I'm sorry that this happened to the family, and we pray that, the sister, may her soul rest in peace, and the young man maybe let able become, let able for recover from this problem, because really, sometimes it might lead to a post-traumatic stress disorder, with people experience when they go on war, just because something happened to them at a very young age, it will affect them, psychologically going forward. So we want for just say, I missed the moment of silence, but I'm really taking one right now. May Allah forgive her.
Amen. Thank you very much, Dr. Aissatou. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, that's now from the medical perspective, I see Judge Kamara back. Himself look they're working at the same path where Dr. Aissatou they talk about. When they wonder we know much about taking care of people medically, then get too silent him up on this whole issue. And then I look they budge for anything. But make we call out whose friend, make we waiting in gets for we. Yes, whose friend, you get a platform, sir.
All right. Thank you very much, Chipule, for giving the platform, and thanks to previous analysts. First of all, I would say, may the soul of the one who don't die rest in peace on a pathetic situation. We want to look at this situation from different angles. Part of our line, the doctor we don't emphasize. So, boy, if you look at from different perspectives, the area outside the minister intervened, we get forget this interview this morning at 98.1. You will look say it actually bring out the facts then, but the point is that they try to help the situation by looking at basic education and civic education. All right. Then the Peking situation, first of all, will begin the coming to the exams of one side, because you look at them as two effects. You get the good side and the bad side. One are principle of double effect. The good side, he able to complete the exams, he survived, even despite the things that will happen. Where his sister don't die, in don't wound, and then in your present situation, now the good side, where he tried to complete the exams based on his own perspective. That now in your way, in cognitive, in way they look at things. But say this now been in my brain all along for weeks and months, so I don't prepare for the exams. So when this thing don't happen, we doctor did that one day now in brain, it don't cognitive level, it did in brain as a picture. Immediately it grabbed from that place and came out hospital. That picture is all along in the picture in my mind about taking the exams. So the denial the stage arm together with that idea of waiting in my brain, it really stick just like a photograph. No one will come out until I take the exams. So even if they tell us, okay, wait, not going to take the exam, wait, no, but looking at the situation within us alone, where the minister when he tried to talk about, say now, then they embark on basic education and civic education. The civic education, that's the area where they try for let them go begin to teach civilians there, for know their right, for know their duty, for know what thing you obliged to do, and what something happen what you for do. Okay, waiting as you say, they try to look at that area, the way they try for when they can comment, when the Peking is still go take the exams, in them for don't take them. But because the Peking get the idea, say, all along, and the parents and back and the community say, well, this exam are the only thing we will able to make it come up from primary school for going to secondary school. So at the area and the way the minister be there for talk about say civic education, for say they will try to show people and say, well, then before don't give you consent. If there be no say this situation will get so, then the exam board gets that option. They say where you get this situation, the government will make sure say since the primary school and will look at the continuous assessment and locate you to a school because of it get a preference because of the situation. But because that idea they first of all to the school, for them to pass on to the parents, they will get them PTA meetings. or even the picking itself go away and say, this situation, this year, in case the situation happen, so I will go and host, I will rest. Because when you look at the situation, that the after effect, it's possible to say in the now the buffer zone of the impact. So then one way be the buffer for an impact away, so we go get the actual impact when I sister. So because of that impact, the bruises he gets. So it's not actually likely we don't get the impact. But who knows if you didn't get I call them pressure in brain. But I don't believe say that will show that moment because you get intracranial pressure and a pressure like way hit you head. That pressure where they kind of hit, they just have something with the brain they accumulate. It will cause you for confused. But it not will most likely get that kind of injury directly. But despite that situation, now the area of educating the masses, the duty, and I only hope say this civil education where you say it gets so, it's not just the education by the people in the day, they will find expert people who will be able to deliver this civic education to people knowing their rights, up to even demonstration them, even other things that would happen in the country, wherein people don't know what they for do. Then therefore educate them, so that before don't enable that picking day, for let you don't actually decide. And then parents that say don't let go sick. But because they know say that the only stage that when they become from primary school stage up to class 6, now continuous promotion, then get like continuous assessment. First term, when they get up to class 7 in those days before they bring the system, then they pass the exam and then promote you. If they pass and promote you, even at class 2 steps, they promote you or they give you promotion. But the system within at the primary school, now they really go for move you. They move you what you are done, they move that class, they then go to another stage. Based on personal speaking, absolutely they know say you don't know nothing and then go make it left day, which is very rare. So that's now the thing we don't can bring up. That last stage where you know say yeah, and then the sour go take for la go na secondary school, all the aims and day. So they even picture the secondary school. You don't see the school, I have to wear my uniform. All those things were around the brain of that picking day. So now for that, it goes to that stage of denial. But only encourage the government, and if we say get this situation, this minister say get the civic education on board, then we really put them in a emphatic way. The other side back what I want to talk about is link a little bit with safety, but not directly. Now the area where I've been see somebody yesterday, now AYV in an afternoon program, where they talk about areas that would lack. What did they do before this exam? I feel that they give money to district level, way for help with transportation of people that would in a certain areas for come out and go outside and get the access for the exams. Because some of them they school them day, but because of them they located a big hall there, for all the reason there, they get for move maybe from a rural area for go to a small, big town where they will take these exams. So they talk about management. So I don't know if their money, they are not saying that info among the victims, but just they say it might be. In your area might have been a place where they go down locate people and get for go take transport, bring them picking there, for them can take exams. So that we will reduce that Okada man will go out for first for count 10 people within 1 hour, so they will for money. So what is that Okada man go do? If not 2 people they take as a rule. So if you can't say chance there for students that will don't see them pack so then where I mean no first for carry and go at the area. So as they rush for go, now will take more passengers. So all this go for influence the traffic where that man not going for drive fine. Looking at the type of security where they at the road and the safetyness of the road and the safetyness of the people the way they fly the route, like the Okada people and more we say because of the bike small, they just the well between spaces and go now even this just spot for them go able for go reach and come back. So after that income. So if my reason are a victim of the money would be on shape, would not be put in order for them to get transport. Because the man being comments say these are areas where they lack, so they will try to rectify them before the siding. Then I the water one side one day. But when you look at the location of the school again, you will try for things again. These are the other things again. If any government therefore able for help for expand, let them think about doing this and also access road like how Usman Tole been talk about. Making roads accessible and then making areas the people are able for education. They would move from one area to the other, almost then get something within the locality. Or if we at least now a small town, one of the outskirts, we will understand again. We're going to all sides, we will get. Then we'll move. Let them make roads and let them go give them good transportation when these things then come. So we'll avoid all these long camp and the picking here. So that as you say, that the main things that we get for will affect them, this particular picking here. So when you don't go take the exam, because taking the exam is not fair because of the trauma we will cause for other people that we will see. Okay, then again, in one of like the after effect, we will get sometimes, let's say, I don't call it, but shocks them also. And they call it panic attacks. Yeah, that's the word, panic attack. Like later, when you don't sit down with the member, say, oh, my sister don't die. We say, I remember what for all those things, everybody work on a panic attack. But it's based on people that when a specialist then will get for intervene that bikini. I also know we're not left and back so, then we'll make a follow up of people that will specialize. Especially the one that want to cancel, they counsel people in that social area, so then we will come to for them to assess and follow up. We just left and so then we will see what they happen at the family base. You see, so on that side, I want to just look into because the education section, where I just want for brief summary, we can bring all this 6-year people and they just grab, they go from one state to another. Now, because of our system, what they don't bring through Christian at top. Things they call a Christian Ayubuka Mary Top. Now, in name, who have been Deputy Minister of Education. Now, 1995, 96, he introduced this system. We pull that 7 years and from 1 to from 5, he pull the change into structures. Now, they can't pull the system. Who now they promote no more. Who now they promote to reach class 6, for a 6 exam. They will now go junior secondary school 1. Junior secondary school 2, they will have junior secondary school 3, and then they take the Becker, so that they go able for look, able for go higher education, they go do a vocational and other things then. But all these things are still having a long way to go, so that we're able to see the actual visual part of them. But only hope they will do this so they will be able to work out and able to do things well. And thank you very much for giving me the platform.
Thank you very much, Osfren. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome, sir. Welcome.
Yes, caller, you're live on air. Your name and inside the call, please.
Lawrence Fox, I call from London.
Yes, Lawrence, you get 3 minutes, sir.
Yes, sir. 2 things and three things that we bring to light is about accident. One of the things that are like the government, where they tell we see, they get free education, they get free transportation. Because these are the minimal numbers. We're talking about educational class. So they blame the government. So they blame the minister, sir. Because you don't tell me you're going to get free education, I get free buses. So now for kids are for small people, they go sit exam. Because for make a priority that day. Now they ask them, they put them to them. They should make it a priority. To make sure and get all the picking. What's the picking for go take bike? I mean, she show desperation, sir. The number 2 exposes our medical. Understand, the medical. Yeah, a paper doctor business because the people don't get money. The poverty exposing itself. Because I mean, if you don't get proper system, where in the beginning are free and they get medical, go you don't say free education, all encompass. You don't say we exposed because if the picking we don't go get a bike accidents, if not free medical for every people they go to school, automatically the picking will go to a regular place where they will take care of them medically. I mean, not get for good because they get for properly examine them. So these are them paper doctor, and I showed again. Number 3, show the parents and then the friend say, hey, what is picking if you not go sit this exam? What's going to happen? Because the picking not study from the wanted to this point for go sit an exam. So the picking not get for take decision on your own without adult supervision. All them kinds of things that they talk about. So technically that's how they talk about. It exposes the government that them free education and they make much about and therefore look at the medical field for free, picking the way they go school, therefore be free for be attended to. Therefore look at the transportation, then they talk about and then they talk about we look about the parenting and say because they're able to pay the medical bill, and that's all exposed to them to that. So then like how the minister they see like civic education in terms of what? Maybe picking and also not to the examination at the end and be all. Then you look at in class assessment, priority case say no, if I go to secondary school, because they try, because they do well. I can't see that. I'm your contribution.
Thank you very much, Lawrence. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah.
Yes, caller, live on air. Your name and who side you call from, please?
Yeah, it's not the call from US.
Yes, sir, you get 3 minutes, sir.
Yeah, like I said on my Facebook posting, I don't think they should have allowed the body for to take the exam. Because based on the fact that the guys, like you said, 10 to 12 years old, how can they allow a 10 to 12 years old to make decisions? Those are life and death decisions. That guy get 2 trauma. His sister died instead of being involved in an accident. You know, they go get a bandage and plaster and say let go because they say I'm going to take exam. The man able to go through thorough examination. You know, let them determine that and then no broken bones or other things not happen to the bubble. People sometimes they talk say like to reference in America, you know, but they can claim they not going to happen in America for 10 to 12-year-old people for go and decide as to whether they go to exam or not after they're involved in some kind of accident like that. You know, when his sister died, he's injured. They're not going to even think about listening to counsel for make that decision there. You know, but not alone anything goes. You know, don't like you said, everybody get their own opinion about things. But I think say their opinion is something say they should allow the before take an exam. All the things Mr. Tori said is right, you know. But will get trauma, he's traumatized. He's 10 to 12 years old. He don't have any, you know, not in any position to make any decision as to what he will do. And they absorb them for making a decision in there. And then within the health sector, and for those top people from want to take the exam, they can still take the exam. They can make special circumstances whereby if you feel better, you can take the exam. So what's not be the rush? You know, he's not a hero. So somebody they say in a grave. That's not grave. The health comes first. You know, that's my contribution, bro.
Thank you very much, Ayo. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, caller, ID live on your name and inside the call from, please.
Yeah, it's not Mike from Philadelphia.
Yes, Mike, you get 3 minutes, sir.
Yeah, I just want to give my condolence to the family. But I really want to find out, would I make the decision for letting Obogo take the exam?
That,
you know?
No, that I'm not able to tell you. But the report where we get say, the Bobo say he want to take the exam. But who gave the right, like you ask, I can't tell you that.
Yeah. Because you see, when somebody fall down a bike and somebody die, now serious fall down the way, man, not to play for the. Because me always say, so we don't fall down on bike now alone, me man. They're very dangerous, me man. Very, very dangerous. Them bike then, me man. You don't know how dangerous then they. Till Luna for down now, you see life they almost the life they go where the for down anything and they. You know, now God no man ain't go say if you for down for anything and they not die. Yeah, so if that small body for down, you don't understand the trauma. You see the bandit in the head. You know, say he for down with the head hit that ground there. Where he head they hit the ground, my man. They mix up your brain. You know, the brain very liquid like thing. They mix up your brain. Why them for make that body go take that exam day? You know. I know we say the adults then what they for guide the bobo, now they fail the bobo, you know, but now they call the boy a hero. It's not a hero thing. This boy I don't lost is somebody where actually they guide them through life, you know. This is not about a hero's thing. This is a big loss for our body, you know. Therefore we don't take care of our body and help them, you know. Even with the hospital. You know, the failure that they by the hospital for we don't make sure they don't not come out there. If we stay there first, let them watch her and see what they happy with her. You know? Man, salon, man, we get for improve, man. We really get for improve. The decision making is very poor, man. You know? I mean contribution, I don't know.
Thank you very much, Mike. Thank you, sir. Yes, caller ID live on your name and inside the call from, please.
Yeah, good morning, Tripoli. I call from London.
Yes, sir, you get 3 minutes.
IBM Kuruma.
Yes, IBM, you get 3 minutes.
Yeah, thank you very much. I get for, first of all, thank the first speakers and first three, I think 3 or 4 speakers. we don't talk, we don't contribute to this program tonight or this morning, because it is about 14 minutes past 12 o'clock London this morning. To be honest with you, almost waiting for can contribute by now almost various speakers and don't make mention of. The only difference we I want to come here is that at this very stage, all with prayers and thoughts are with the bereaved families and the young man where we say a hero. Yes, for saying a hero, yes, of course. One thing we all almost want to forget. Like I don't listen to various speakers. Me have been once a teacher, and even up to that level with our body, NPSC. And those days, we like me and Una, we could don't almost so far contribute. We don't go through that particular level where that particular exam where that young man been trying to undertake yesterday. And we know the enthusiasm, the zeal, where for itself, go able to eat way the contrary the hours and way they ready for go drop your pen. I can imagine Roti Funk Moyama district. In those days, I they call 3-4 of my colleagues and those days where we try for go sit NPSC. We don't sit NPSC already. Guess what? Those times, I mean, young as at that age when somebody they go sit NPSC. 4-5 of we go looking on for the exam. Don't sit so would I get for pass. The kind tension where those days the exam day for later you get for repeat back NPSC. You get for we not been there NPSC. Common entrance. Now common entrance. The Lugro man go say out of 5, they say 4 people and get for pass. Wouldn't at this one person now mix up camp and we within the squad? Wouldn't at this one person now we get whether this Lugro man are true they talk? Or on a lie, they lie, or on a just want to eat with student money, with small lunch money, no more get no more for go. Because we were just concerned. The zeal, the enthusiasm going to secondary school for go wear that uniform as a Form 1 student. They wouldn't have the one that this person will get for fail. Wouldn't have this one power will get for fail. So that said, let me just say this. I really want to join with my colleagues and we actually the try to rule out this blame game for blaming the invigilators. I don't invigilate, and of which I will not even be a psychosocial expert. Who is that invigilator in Sierra Leone situation where now somebody come up from hospital? And maybe in work upright, we are not way down invigilator, no psychosocial therapy, just like the doctor the type of they mentioned. We then that supervisor or will just look the about all in zeal with plans for go where for Form 1 next year. Then you will say no sit. He will able to manage the situation. Even sometimes will kill you, but sometimes he would that for able to faint before the class. We don't tell us say no. So it was critical. The way the Minister of Basic and Senior Secondary School David Moynihan Senge, I listen when Khadija Bangura they even forced David Moynihan Senge. Say, Mr. Minister, I want to ask you, that boy if you get right for let them allow him for go sit. That question, they we call them lead up questions. you almost get the answer. You almost want the answer where the man, you expect the man for say, either for say, no, for bingo. You they almost guide the educator for say, yes, no, for be allowed the bobo. And some of the way some of the journalism, then they ask, sometimes I can just listen, they shake me head. Then even it jog the question because the man they try for struggle politically for actually involve the invigilators, and at the same time let it at least give some peace to the bereaved family and the bobo we traumatize. The gentleman they try for raccoon for fall by the wayside. They just between and betwixt. Then the journalists, they feel for even jog the question at the man in hand. With the man, they try for struggle, for try for balance one side. It is still answer, Mr. Minister, but you feel say unite for let them go. That angels already concluded the gentleman, the small body, not for the allow for go sit. Where even the next option for the go for drop before the class, before he colleagues them, for the depriver. I am not a medical practitioner, but the person where somebody mentioned about the medical condition in Sierra Leone, where either it's not their advanced country, sometimes they will not from the hospital, not to be left farm, not to them pepper doctor area. If not been them renowned hospital, sometimes they're not for being allowed, even if it reached at the school site. Now, we will faint to, at the hospital for say because they're depriver. But for reaching at the school, then I go stop and say no for sit and you also go stop her or minister or whoever say no because you get bandage on your face. Come on.
All right.
They're not called for. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Yes, caller Leone, your name and where the call from, please.
Ibrahim, the call from Maryland.
Yes, Ibrahim, get 3 minutes, sir.
All right, thank you for the platform. First of all, I want to send my thoughts and prayers to the family who lost their loved one. Let Allah give them good road. Let Allah forgive his sins there. I want to ask a question. Then school boys, are any function right now?
They are, but I don't think not all they own. I stand to be corrected. If then they own, not just few they own.
Okay, because right now, not to all the schools then they function. Not only the external examination people is in the go school right now. The ministry for don't put things in place for let the bus then run for only for yesterday, if not all the bus they but then for don't provide the boys they made able to transport the school beginning okay for take the exam for that particular day. If we then for be providing bus then they and also we could ask them to go 90 mark accidents. Sometimes then for don't prevent what it happen so. Because me when I talk to you so I get that pain there every month they affect me. What bike give me this knee it come on in position. Till today, every month I feel the pain. So that was body, go even know what they go on say. That particular moment they wouldn't they happy with her. Two things they go on with her. You don't lost his sister. Then self not injured, will not even know what they go on in brain. If they for can go to hospital, we say doctors and they we them for see the in condition. Even though they were more eager for the exam because we all don't pass through the examination and they will be say, I know it itself because I don't time you say, they go take the exam and we get competition, say everybody want to go to a renowned school. So he get that hope they say he get for take the exams for let he will go to the school where he don't put for. But this situation, if they can't go to hospital, doctor see him, even though they were eager for the exam, for don't say, this will probably they all have force. But if in case like when left fight, they don't take the decision, they say well, say instead they go take the exams. Then you don't take the exams. In case you know he will pass the exams, I know the wish for now. In case they will pass the exams, what did they get for do for the bobo? What did they get for you will do for her? Though it be the time is I will take the exam because I want that I get the mark and the school where I put for. Though I deep and traumatized, but they will take the exams. We you don't even know what they go on in life. Because if you did 10 to 12 years, na salon. I'm not saying America, yeah, will be say 5-year-old became they're smart enough, but salon sometimes they go 10 years, 12 years. They would know what something that way they would take decision on their own. So we not get for judge anybody, but the bobo I hope say not get for wrong in brain, let God give our body. So now me take down this night. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Ibrahim. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Yes, caller, I did live on air. Your name and inside the call from, please.
Yeah, good morning from Australia. I'm in C Square.
Yes, C Square. Get 3 minutes, sir.
I call for sympathize with the bereaved family. Let God give the boy speedy recovery. The problem what they say AAA now system not in place in our country. System not in place. The time we go school, I remember say we get a first aid at the school. First of all, not to the school, we will get the accident. Now on the way to the exam, I believe say on the way to the exam we get the accident. So if you don't get the accident on the way to the exam, where a medical doctor for look at the bobo or a nurse, when a professional, we them for don't give sick report, that maybe no. We then go down here and sick report. Now that sick report, they go carry go to the school, go present, say now so. Then we go to the school, the first day that they observe them, say yes. Then qualify the report, say okay, this one is waiting. But I don't know, the system all just don't mix up. They don't bring 63 for come, they don't bring this, they don't bring the medical system. If I can remember back Nigeria, now where the minister of health, now where in young person die, now him at night picking about somebody, the former minister of now when somebody died to him, now in them begin put about counterfeit drugs. He died from counterfeit drugs, and then begin put foot down. If not the minister and begin die so, they're not about making our body go sit. They're not even show much attention to it. So they really need for that system for them in place. The school for get first aider. I believe that all school, the time they go school, will get first aider, all school and get first aider at the school. Not a professional nurse, but now a first aider we don't go down train. You know, thank you very much. And that's what the try for see. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Square. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Yes, caller, I did live on air. Your name and inside the call from, please.
Yes, AAA. My condolences to this boy in family. And this is a very sad thing that happened because in this part of the world, I don't think that would have ever happened. Okay. Therefore, keep that Pikinde in the hospital for observation. He is a child. Okay, all he was thinking, he has to take this exam. But some adults play a role. You see? How could they let him continue to go to the school? Even when you get to the school, because you get the bandage na head. The first thing where the teacher observe, what happened to you? Why you get the bandage? Okay, or even for the family parents thing. You see? I'm very, very sad, AAA, something like that to happen to somebody like that. I'm very, very sad today. That's all I can say. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Adama. Thank you, ma.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Mm-hmm.
Yes, caller, I did live on here. Your name and inside the call from, please.
Yeah, this is George Kamara.
Yes, George Kamara, welcome on board, sir. Get 3 minutes. What's your contribution?
All right, thank you. Well, I don't say the consensus, the overwhelming consensus now. Somebody for don't make the decision for the Peking. But we were at the Western world, but we know say we watch football, American football. We think it happened when two players they collide and somebody hit the head. Even if that person won't go inside the game, they get people them, neurologists them waiting at the literally at the field, they examine them and say no. Even if they want to go, whether an adult or a professional athlete, and they want to go play, whether a sport ball or a playoff, then they say no. Because if you don't meet certain criteria, you know to go because serious head injury. They know say well because he decided to play in adults, as a medical personnel, you let it go inside, right? But in this sense, then people will make that decision. I not to medical personnel there, but there's no way anybody, a minor with a head injury, no less, you allow him to go take an exam. You don't even care about his safety. If me, I be the minister, I fire anybody where all the higher people, because you have to set an example. Oh, you have to put in protocols in. This is unacceptable. don't not say this is a salon or this is a salon. No. That boy, what is that boy going inside that he develop, he get a subdural hematoma, he get intracranial pressure or a cerebral bleed. Then he died. We go talk say all the boy now the hero, the only driver. We go blame everybody in the book. That way, I think say I am the talk or any other person. They say, well, yeah, you go make an exemption. You go take that exam there at any time. But if you're not there alive, you will never be able to take another exam again. It would be a double loss to the parents, right? Because they don't lose a child, a girl, now a boy. You see? So the thing is, education, yes. I really applaud your effort. I take education very seriously. You see? So any people will determine, for that matter, in this day and age in salon, when most people don't even want to go to school. You know, I applaud that. But this minister, in answer, it's vague. It's vague. No, it's unacceptable. When I put in protocols after this, let this be a lesson. When I put in protocols, no kid, the welfare, the well-being of the beginning, it supersedes everything else. Even if young papa abuse them, when we talk about rape, we talk about other abuse them. Even in this country, that beginning for running a social welfare right now as we speak, for even allow that beginning to go take that exam. I feel so bad. You know, yes, you could take the exam at any time. We all agree that. But you have to. For example, I had a work with patient. I don't see patient for done in front of me. Right? Hit the head. They'll just say, oh, George, I'm fine. I remember my birthday. I remember the president of the United States. I remember who's that day. I said, no. I will call the medical personnel. They call the ambulance. You have to go to the hospital. Even though they are alert and oriented times 3. One, because slowly they will develop, they will become unconscious. You never know that. Now, if the ambulance come and they decide not to go, they have to sign a form saying that they have declined the medical attention, so that way even the ambulance is not held responsible if something happens to this person. You see, that this is an adult, just an adult, a guardian, somebody with a young guardian. But this kid is not his own guardian. Somebody talks to the beginning get right. But it's not about right. When you're a minor, when it comes to safety decision, I mean, you don't have a right when it comes to safety. So if you begin say they go jump in the street, if they go play in the street, and don't say you're unsafe, I will say you're right. No way in this world that you ever, because you as the parent, you be held responsible. They are a minor, they are under 18 or under 21, they are minor, they don't make their own, they are not their own guardian, they need to make independent decision. So it's really a shame that this happened. And if there's any way, me, for helping speaking, I'm willing to do, to contribute to whatever happens for financial help. I'm willing to do that. I feel so bad. But the notion that people talk say, well, the beginning is right because he don't have the exam, and he was determined. No, a head injury. Just imagine a head injury. You're never in a state of mind after a head injury. Concussion, the brain don't move. The brain don't move. That impact, where the brain don't get. It could take, if you check that body right after that accident day, if you take in PPOs then, you check everything. You go see how the result don't even constitute self. You know, for the notion that if you go take the exam, you pass. No, that is irrelevant to at this point. Therefore, don't try for Greek cannot begin even, na freedom somewhere to seek a comprehensive medical evaluation. Then later you go take the exam. But you don't talk about. Doctors told me to talk about post-traumatic stress disorder. All these things, they will can't let this boy will be affected. If his sister don't die, involve. People. I don't get minor accidents. I run into I've been playing football. Me and the goalkeeper collide. He hit me at the ribs. I said I had to play because even though application is the best because of the magnitude of game, I said I had to play. 3 hours later, one goal is on our couch. For grab, it won't work. I probably had broken ribs. This is like 10, 11 years ago. And the breathing not been ever did the same gradually. So this is the thing. Even though I felt like I could play. But I was wrong. So why would they make decisions in a salon? No one say, oh, that person didn't, right? Once you're a minor, or even if you're an adult, whenever it comes to safety, you always make the decision for that person. They go thank you later. Seriously, trust me. Okay? All right.
Thank you very much, George Camara. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Yes, caller, you're live on air. Your name and who call from, please.
My name is Gloria. I'm calling from Canada.
Yes, Gloria. What's in your contribution?
So first thing first, keep seeing these pictures of this young boy. So I don't get no idea where he's from. So I'm happy to know that he's from Sierra Leone. So I do have some few questions. So I want to know which part in Sierra Leone this boy is from, his name, and if you guys have any contact of this boy. And so those are my 3 questions I would like for you guys to answer before I would say anything to the government.
We're not going to supply you all the information in there right now on air. However, we will get your number. Then when we get the information, then they are available, we will make a known to you.
Okay, sounds good. And also, I think the best thing for this young boy, it don't be someone we go motivate every picking them inside Sierra Leone. Say no matter what the situation is, focus on you, focus on the things that you believe in, and it will come to pass. I hope for this boy to live for a long time and for him to see God's good things there for his life. 2, I will plead to the government of Sierra Leone to at least give this boy a scholarship, whether it is SLPP or APC. This is something the 2 major political parties need to come together to talk on. Things like this, they show the love where the government gets for the people. So they need to put every differences aside and see how best they're able for help and make this boy reach to that point where it really determined for reach. Because this young boy gets a very bright potential, and he just needs a support and someone to keep talking to him that you can do it and continue to do it. He just needs someone to keep saying the same thing, that he's a smart boy, he's brave, and something like that. Like every blessed day, someone needs to remind him about that. And like I said, my name is Gloria, so I do have like a small charitable organization in Sierra Leone. It's called Hope for the New Generation. We just did sensitization and distribution of face masks and hand sanitizer at Tombo and Godrich area, and also AYVB read about them and all that. So me as somebody with a look out for children and all that or something like that. So I will see how best I'm able to know exactly what is happening, because lately you will see a lot of stuff on social media, so you still don't know, right? So I'm happy this boy has to be a Sierra Leonean. So all I have to say is that the government need to take good care of this boy, and they need to give him at least scholarship. Both SLPP and APC and any other political party will come into power need to give this boy a lifetime assurance, because if that is part of the world, stuff like that not ever happen in the first place. It not ever happen. And also I go and know the partner Sierra Leone is very important. So if this thing happen, so like the villages or so, it's a shame. Because when time reach for vote and everything, the vote boxes and they go at the worst part in Sierra Leone. So these are some of the things that we really need to put political aside and focus on the things that we will keep us safe. When rain come heavily, the poorest people inside Sierra Leone so will still sleep and not get fear. When time come, so for hospital, you get the right treatment and all. These are some of the things I think young people inside Sierra Leone need to pay attention in, rather than fighting over stuff like that. So again, I just want to make this short, and I will text you my name and my email address, and then we could talk from there.
Okay, thank you very much, Gloria, and thank you for all the help we done render to vulnerable people in a salon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yes, caller, you there live on air. Your name and side the call from, please.
Yeah, this is not Patrick.
Yes, Patrick, you get 3 minutes, sir.
Thank you first for the bubble for let their life, and it's a miracle for let their life. I mean, his story not go end it. But with him, he left to say somebody have to hold responsible for that. They're not for let and go. So the government need to hold somebody responsible. Where if you allow for let the bubble sit down, even if not the bubble make your own decision, but where if you allow for let sit down inside that classroom there, anything can happen. It can get concussion there. If for it collapse, then another story now we will talk about. The need for all somebody responsible, say they kind of thing are not for repeating self again. They're not for let and go. So somebody have to get fired or get responsible. Then number two, this is the time now the government need for the think about them bike issue there in another country. We don't see Nigeria, they don't ban most bikes now, most big city there. Mrs. Somebody she also wanted 2018 when I go. Just for the curiosity, I say make I take bike. I take bike from Lumley Junction, we claim, we claim Spur Road for going to house to me now, but for small lady. But the way the driver, the body drive, I don't already know, say this must for them. So I mean, just the prepare myself no more now for jump. So as soon as you read before the thing, now exactly now happen. I see which is now jump. We say I go land na me hand first, then touch the ground, I push me hand. The baba for let the bike go, want to protect the bike back. He say he prefer let injure than the bike spoil. I say now that you go die so. That don't show so we don't see many accidents in that country today where you don't cause bike accident. So the government need for to put some bike regulation there, how they operate. Because if not for ban, I know if the ban there, it will cost hard, it will cost a lot of trouble. But let them find way how this bike business there, because people don't lost their life, so don't get injured, so don't get scrapped. I know somebody will die out of bike. Your foot go with itself, that foot they get swell, can't get infection before they rush with her now. That die, don't die so. So somebody need for they need for all somebody responsible for allow that body let she do inside that classroom there. We don't say do a naive Roman, yes. But anything can happen. Thank God nothing happen inside the way me day. Me way there I don't get made. This made is tell I open the airport, I open the plane. I open the plane in back door. That aircraft 320. The first way come up and it hit me forehead. I guess more bottle. But to me, I feel okay. But the company, they say for safety reason, let something not go happen tomorrow. I come back to them. They send me, I go to CAT scan. 2 days I didn't house, or I get paid for that. The CAT scan they made, they see, don't say the 70 okay. They send a report before they allow me back to work. So you don't see that real safety first that they look for. Like the same thing, if that body something may happen to her inside that classroom day. Now story now. Now history don't talk, so now we just go to talk about our normal now. So somebody they need for somebody responsible would that allow her for let you do inside the classroom. That's all me left for say. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Patrick. Thank you, sir. Yes, caller, you live on air. Your name and also the call from, please.
Okay, good evening. My name is Namata Egonobi from Delaware. Me take on this. Now that this happened for a reason, even though some of we they blame the teacher or the Pekin. I mean, not blame the Pekin, but they're not allowed the Pekin for take the exam. But if they not be allowed the Pekin for take the exam, maybe we'll not one of you about this situation will happen. So what I mean say happen for a reason. They show the weakness now with system, now with country, transportation, education, safety. So with this happen now, like we will say sometimes also God destined us, say, may this become be a light in this aspect of a country. Maybe now the authorities and go sit down together and think, say, times have changed. Not to tell what they say, you be minister, then you be transportation minister, the work. Now at the time for me to think beyond critical thinking. How we go make salon go before? For safety, for health, even as well as the health department. Because now they allow the pikin for going to school. If the pikin be able all and day, maybe the pikin for take the exam, or not for be no. So now make I say happen for a reason. So now when the pikin go to school now, you take the exam, we're all able for no say. This is the situation. So now what do we get for do now again? Everybody they listen to this program now. If the government not able to support the pikin medically, for let the health to be taken care of, then we gonna Sarah Network and give our own contribution. Sarah Network go take that contribution to the family, I believe so, for make sure that this pikin well taken care of. Because right now, maybe the impact, you not go even feel them yet. So until 1, 2, 3 days or 1 week, it will begin to feel them. At the same time, none of the pikin they listen or in family they listen, we're not going to let the pikin feel bad. So if the pikin they listen or the family they listen, let us encourage and say, they do the right thing at that moment because now so in mind tell them for do. We not they blame her, we support them. So we go stand with here in family, let God make it pass the exam so that in the future, you not go regret in actions and let God give his sister a good road. So me own opinion or me own contribution now in this, but I beg everybody go to Sarah Network website and donate if you want to indicate and say for the cause of those speaking. And I believe say God will bless we all and the money go reach. So now me own contribution and thank you.
Thank you very much, Martha. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Yes, caller, ID live on air. Your name and who the call from, please.
Yeah, Triple Enemy.
Yes, sir. You get 3 minutes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, my brother. This is now Omar, the call from California. Everybody don't say waiting I need for say, but waiting with the picture what they miss now is the things are all over the talk about. They're not there in Sierra Leone. We'll not get them. They're not there in place. Sierra Leone they don't know anything about public safety. They don't know anything about public health. They use the name, but it not there, it not exist. Look the way them motorcar them way to go upline. Look the way how they load people. That's not public safety. The minister or department inside transportation not for allow them things that they for happen. People me go Freetown last year. I go to my village in Cambia. Where they come back, school over, primary school. 1 grade Okada takes 7 Pikindem. 7 small Pikindem. 1 Okada. I don't know why I'm pack them. Then a public safety. Then a public safety. But we're not getting out of the country. So everybody they talk about they're not for allowed because when they, in fact one way you did in yourself you for that you hit it, you call paramedic, where they come, then they can you go. And one this not a minor, they're not supposed for yourself if for go because the one way picking they go to school with black eye. The law now say if you the teacher you not call police, anything happen, you're responsible. The one when a woman say Kumbra, Bella woman, any woman, you go to hospital, they see you with black, anything, black body, black arm. If that doctor did not call police, anything would happen with that woman, that doctor they responsible. So that picking day, right beside that accident they happen. Because me they working at level 1 trauma hospital. And I'll brag a little bit, we're number 7 at the nation. But that beginning, they're not before even touch them. Anytime where accident, car accident, anything happen, the first place where they reach for secure, now the neck. Grab the neck, put a hard collar, hold on the neck is not bend because Tennessee, they let that picking they paralyzed from neck down. So now the first thing I know they try for secure. But we get them people in there, even the medical people in there, they know what's in that. How many people in Africa with a big CPR? So we get there's a lot need to be done in our country. We talk now, like this kind of podium where we get, we all the talk, but all the things we don't talk about this country now, they don't exist. I mean, you see the way the lawlessness is all over the country. You see the way where that country they choke with Okada. Them over there they're so reckless. They're so reckless. They don't get one decent respect for their own life, let alone the person. Me don't work from Bombay Market all the way to Godrich 2014 because me don't talk and say, did they want to sit down Patap Okada? That day they had just shoot myself in my head. Not to Salon Okada. And then they came me go no side. So there's a lot need to be done in that country there. I don't know, them people that they can just say no more for the people or for the people. They don't care about the people of too. I just want to talk a little bit about the people and with the interview about the exam. Now we give a little kudos to the minister and the way with the people and talk with the exams and go well. This is a tragic thing. Very, very tragic. You know, I hope say nothing not happen with this bubble. But if the one that within a salon and they listen, they need to take this bubble back in the hospital, let them do a CT scan, let them check this bubble. And like within the last call I say, they are always there for whatever contribution for because Tradibac na maybe count one picking, one Mariam Abawe, they will make sure I always ready whatever contribution law help this young man. Because they really need for checkup right now. Because the way they get car accidents when I just hit you, the pain they can later, 2-3 days later, now that pain they did the camp, let alone the first day. So that no more, my brother. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Umar. Thank you, sir. Yes, caller, you there live on air. Your name and the call from, please.
Yeah, my name is Famaro Kuruma. I call from Algeria.
You get 3 minutes, sir.
Yeah. Well, like me been suggested like this thing we don't happen to this Boba because I not say why them for them get a special provision for that because we can see somebody we can don't take a exam if them see the results where you go for a challenge and can tell you say come back and they conduct special exam for you. But them thing we been don't happen to this Bobo. The best way them for don't do them for don't consider the Bobo in health system first before they will continue for go sit in exam. At the end, then able conduct from a special exam when able sit. Because in the happen at the external exam them, if you don't sit the exam, maybe then say your results are not satisfied with your grade way, your score malpractice take place. If you want challenge, you can go back now challenge and resit your exam day. And this will for be a hero in a salon because like we don't see you say somebody go save that picky in life from France. The whole world see what's in happen. And like this exam we in go sit so if this speaking come up with good results, now a big kudos to them because like now in trauma one day. And somebody don't trauma for making it right then can exam then they in succeed. And go be more terrible, not go be easy. So we the beg for make the able looking and the picking in health situation presently. After the exam, then we go with the continue go with the picking hospital. Oh, now in Oz then go with our one, no that's back.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Famora. Thank you, sir. Yes, caller, you're live on air. Your name and the call from, please.
Yeah, the name now. Nakagbo Momo. I call from Fago, North Dakota.
You get 3 minutes, sir.
Yeah, and thank you. First of all, we doctor don't analyze this for we, I think, in a better way for the world understand. The theory I'm talking about destiny. Now we all they say talk about safety. If you boss we don't day, but a lot of members say if you go don't destine something, we're not gonna get anything. We'll get for do about it. So now the first scenario for you say the lady don't die and the body we involved into the accident. Now destiny natural God don't mark get for happen and in get for commodity live. So for thank you because he commodity live. And the only thing I worry about the boy, I don't know where they take the exam, if he be able to focus. Because the moment we want to go for go take the exam, he get all that strength. Now he don't do inside that hall, he be able to focus. Pain become overall, be making, not be able even pay attention, we don't know. So first we pray, let God make you go through an exam, let God make you pass. And two, the decision making. If we get for blame anybody, the parents will take an hospital, will bring an partner the examination hall or the school. And the South and go treat them probably not for able to ask question here because they see the physical thing will happen to the doctor able to see if now doctor or a physician and the parents then see
how the accident be terrible. So therefore, he will make that judgment, either for bring her back or not. But it don't happen. And go into the safetyness, say, if not boss them. I remember, say, this network we don't discuss about what this exam they come, they talk about the safety, about the COVID, what you for do. I don't remember, say, any of the speakers and how they talk, say, then for them, let them provide free bus them for this day today. So nobody not think that. If somebody think about that, I say, in order for correct me. So now people are saying for them get them bus also. But before this discussion of the day, nobody know people who think that. So most time we think on something when something happen, either bad or good. Now they we say we learn, but no not learn from that. No not think let's say now so we say if we don't think or now so if we don't act when it happen. So this all Lord will left into faith. Lord pray for this boy. Let God make it continue for be okay. And let passing exam and pray for the family. Now me won't take that.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Yes, caller, you're there live on the air. Your name and who the call from, please.
Yeah, I'm in Kuruma. I call from the United States.
Get 3 minutes, sir.
Yeah, we sympathy to the family we lost in Peking. Well, just like we now our fellow they talk, I believe in destiny. Now, so God mark the poor dear say he will die. But the other thing when you know, the Bobo noble insist in death, why it didn't example or they never tell him.
That's an agreeable answer.
Oh, okay. Then AAA, you know, this it don't be the reason we make we always feel you know, because of this are small picking, and we all know, say, you know, not of our idleness a minute ago, but a lot of incidents like this they happen, but this one on the business. The only way waiting giving me one many government do this Honda accident, you know, it don't too common in the country. Well, now some of the reason and mistake, you know, will not really get like good data bank in country in Mekofina. Most of them, boy, it really find better make better fingerprint. Better tell and say if you involve in 2-3 accidents, better ban you for life. Trust me, even because these are the quickest job in the country now, you know. They drop out, they would have in a village, you know, as a city of Ghana, then they jump and bike. So it's like they don't care anymore. And trust me, AAA. Then TRD, you know, in 800 in that country. These hospitals begin lonely emergency. I don't know, I think it's you go to that place like 80% of the patient there. Now, money. So if the government not really try for discipline, where you know, they never ever be careful. We sooner than jump my street. Like say, you know, that Magumako, I think will make them gentry. So maybe our government put something in place, you know, to really like discipline them by finances. We involve in like 2-3 accidents, made them ban you for life, and then really mean them. Now let me get for saying, we sympathy once more to the family. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Koroma. Thank you, sir. Yes, caller, they live on air. Your name and who the call from, please.
Hello?
Yes, you're on air. Your name and who the call from.
Okay. My name is Patty. Thank you for giving me the platform. My contribution today is the people lost in life. May God give them good road and may the parents they have my sympathy. One thing I just want to say, would they talk this today or would they talk this tomorrow? This not fear where you lack of humanitarian values, where we lack of citizen values, where we lack of, parents' values. The other guy say, if you the boy have parents, you picking they know they go past something, where they get accident, you take the picking a hospital. Where you pull on a hospital, the first place where you can go to the exam hall, Would they blame the government? Would they blame, this? But we lack of human presentation. Now Africa in general, I'm not talk about Sierra Leone, even them back there who they talk this and that all over Africa. But the only thing would they talk about young because they will come on, they will Sabina, would they try to put the puzzles together. But first of all, the parent is supposed to take responsibility about your child. It does not matter what happened. It does not matter what you're going through. Secondly, the government, why they always get blamed? Because they take the responsibility, now they put them, now their desk, what they look at every day, what they not be able to figure out to solve all the problems. If they share this problem to the citizens, to the population, to the people, to the teachers, and to whosoever, then at the country, the blames will be left to their table. Why I say this? If this lady don't take him picking, the parent they don't take the picking, they don't care and go. Somebody go more say, oh mommy, you know what thing? We go figure something out. We'll be able to help you picking. But the parent and get the fear is, if you picking not take this exam today, there is no way I get for go cry, wouldn't get for go sit for me cry. Now one thing. The other thing is, it's a collaboration day between the government and the population. And they repeat this. We get from the public educators. We're not to classroom. Then they educate you where they work. Then they educate you where they not market. Then they educate you where you dey and pray. But we lack of them values there in Africa. Why? Because of the people who own the power. They own everything and put everything to the desk. When the desk is full, you cannot fill all those cups at the same time. First of all, education we don't broke. Then 1990, what people then they pregnant. Now they don't make a flexible to everybody for educate. Let the people then focus on how they begin and will educate. If you're not able to pull exam, maybe get some time for put you. We're not going to be the end of the road. I get 6 more than where I buy some for. Where it's on the 2 years, on the 3 years, where they not go to school anymore. So because of this one great exam. Why? Because of we not get education presentation. So then people there, if you not pass the exam, they not get any time to put you. That's the end of your journey. This now fear make them parents there then take this bobo na that place day. Because if that bobo miss this egg, it will be the end. What did they go say? He didn't get the accident to get some kind see the answer. When this even police bad or whosoever, they get some kind silly answer when they can then back talk. Remember they say back talk when they give some people, or what this rap or what for this, when do this now. He go broke the people then down. And we the diaspora support that my sister. We say if we go able to get donation, what thing will make diaspora their voice will be heard? Now Sierra Leone. The responsibility, what would they take? They will say, how not do this, so hey, the diaspora, they would make this and that. When they say you're not diaspora of talking. There's no action taken. Trust me, there's some people are working class in a day. So me, I just beg each one. Today, you don't build the bridge for us to pass through. We don't have nothing. We're not being get all the things that will be the get right now. We're not being get some. You know, they would they communicate. You know, they would they talk to. You know, they'll say they preach you frustration to, but you don't build the platform. These brothers and sisters support them, my sister and Mr. Umar or whatever. So if not $20, $30, $10, hey, let me take over. How would they take over the responsibility? What would they show? Say yes. We're concerned about your land. We're concerned about your people. We're thinking about them every day. So the quality what people then lack of in that place, you don't get voice for talk. You don't get who say they go complain. Now in cause this bubble. We know they blame the school. I know they blame, but the quality, human quality will not get. Now in the cause all trouble there. We say then they put another the government aid because now they not the aid. Way for supply values to people, educate the community, let the community educate themselves. They know they do them, so that they get the blame at the end of the day. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Sophie. Thank you, ma.
So when you're ready, let me know the time that they contribute, okay?
All right. I think a lot of people don't sound the alarm in waiting. Don't think about this whole situation. I just want to bring to notice just few things now. The problem in Sierra Leone, major things that may happen wrongly, we don't take them as something way common. Forget accidents in a bike. It don't be something we common right now na salon. So in the manner way some of we they talk now, now so we expect people in Sierra Leone, bike riders, the Riders Association and all these people for take accidents in a bike. But however, unfortunately, not so it happen. Make we begin first on this particular accident. If you look and find, you're going to see number one, then overload. Even we, the government of Sierra Leone say right now one person per bike. For make then get that accident day, the sister, the late, and this young man will be the go for go take the exam with the escort and the rider. And they don't show we say, na 3 people them be load by the bike. That's a one. And with the injury we seen at the bottom head, tell we say, the young man not be wear helmets. That's not so. So all the measures we government put in place, they not adhere to them. Because waiting do, people now don't take and like say, oh, it's just normal. Sit down on top bike, go yonder, you get accident. People then they lost their life by bike accident. I remember in Freetown, Kisi Road. You know how many people lost life na Kisi Road? The government go to the extent to say because of that, then they ban bike riding at the CBD, Kisi Road, Abacha and all this thing. Go Salon today. Then they ride all over the place. Even the same Kisi Road, then they ride today. Go na the cotton tree and outside, then they ride. And before, you they say, oh, okay, the bike rider then are the bad riders. But Boko of them don't graduate from riding bike, they don't go to it in riding keke. You go see keke rider now they behave like bike. For the swing, and so that's in the way not art for them. That's what they do. So, if we start on the origin for loading these people, yes, you go say the one for reach, the sister, the escort down there, and the one for reach, make them make them. But number one first, there should be no overloading. Number two, waiting at the safety measures for wear helmets. And according to the injury we seen at the bottom head, means say that head they not be in a helmet. Whatever the accident be look like, we make the sister not make them out of there, we don't know. But that one they tell you say, that's something way but severe. that kind of accident. Again, a lot of bike accidents and they happen. Now they go areas then they a lot of so it's like they don't take Alexinas until we come on. I make you go find out say then take this young man and they attest to it say na first aid. First aid treatment na in the game. We bring you to the next question about the medical service. With somebody we involved in an accident, where somebody else lost in life day. You think say na first aid treatment no more in need? You don't think say them for don't escalate the matter to another level? Just like waiting everybody say if they do the proper checks at a hospital, they're not for be able to left and for go. Because you're not for meet up that time in there. But who da administer this first aid? These are all questions. We feel say, oh, this not just first aid no more, not just bandage and plaster. We put them of medicine. We get pain tablets. Yes, you go able, yes, I go able. And then get the green light for go. People in there say, do we have social services in Sierra Leone? They do. But maybe what you know as social service in the West differs from what in social service be in Salone. I stand to be corrected. But go on Facebook, search for Social Services Sierra Leone. They even have a Facebook page. One thing where you can't fault them on, one thing where then go they do diligently, mostly every weekend, with social service and salon. Now for go give them beggars then a street on Sundays, go give them food. They want to walk in dinner, Circa Stephen Street, and all those, the CBD area. Go check their Facebook page. And then they will see. Once in a while, we go see people encounter and say then they train them. But the effectiveness of social services in the West and what we call social service in Sierra Leone, different. I make you go find out, say, administration after administration. Regime after regime. They always defect nada ministry day. They always defect nada ministry day. Waiting at the reason na God one green sabi. But that ministry day, na salon, they don't even know their job. I'm sorry. But to waiting we know, waiting we are supposed for they do. They don't. People and they say, oh, even them bike riders, them, they forget the database. Most of those people, they don't even have a license. The bikes, they're not even licensing them. Then the human being, they not even get a rider's license. So they are not even qualified. The bikes, they're not even qualified for the Natigits. The motormasters have not qualified for rider bike the Natigits, but they are doing it. Waiting do. You go round and round again. You say na lawlessness. You say na because the police and they take bribe from those people. Now I make that one day they happen. Now, the issue reaching at the school. Whoever make the decision, the bubble reaching at the school. They say, oh, you able to take. Then get the right. Take your exam. But the problem here, who that make the decision, say yes, he's supposed to be able to take the exam. And we see when the picture begin go round, before you begin get other people already question this, the picture go around like hailing the young man. Say, now a brave move for go after Dandy, and you still go say go take exam. There you get people and now will begin think critically. Say, no, this is not right. It's not right. The school authority, you feel say, then get that know-how for assess that particular situation at that moment. Who then are the person we think rationally? Where were the parents? Were they mourning the loss of the young lady? All things here come to light about the system where we get Nasalone. Somebody did talk about public health and public safety. The other day I was asking, I say, in Sierra Leone, you are forced to buy fire extinguisher and go put in your car, rather than for teach you how to use fire extinguisher in your home. So we priorities, the way how they see things, you go say yes. Then put them in place, say bike riders them for wear helmets. Even the passengers should wear helmets. But they know they do. You will count Amos bike rider we get helmet and how many passengers. With or without the helmet, police they still arrest them. Because waiting do, they want money from them. They want money from them. Because, let us say, okay, then call 117. Ambulance come. The ambulance we can equip. Let's say now they do the right thing. After the accident, they called 117. Where 117 come? Where the ambulance come? Now first aid themselves get forgive. Not so, because we all don't see inside the ambulance, then get first aid box safe. Maybe then get under the seats. But these things, we not go able to see them, we not talk about them. Because then go help for make the authorities them able for look back and say, we need to do better having this kind of assessment. I see Ayo till they say think say anybody go come out na the west, na the diaspora go and ride bike in a salon. Well, me, I don't ride bike in a salon, even to this last go where I go. Because there are some areas where you go, not only bike they go there. That's not one. But for me, before I go on top of the bike, I can always get a conversation with the rider. Make you understand, say, nobody's chasing after him. And you know the speed with me. And if you want to do something we're not correct, I'm going to talk to you. If you fail for them, I go step down. I never step down because they always listen. You know they ride with me any kind of way. You know they ride with me. But me, I they ride bike. I they sit down, somebody ride me. But what you would say there? This is not the first time we talk about regulating the bike rider them. But you know what well bike riding association as alone? Na politics. Politics na well. I remember the last time we go Kenema. The Kenema Council, Kenema City Council, and the bike rider there, then get issue. Because the council say this outside they occupy, then they cause too much traffic na that area there. Then pull them there, then carry them go somewhere else. Somewhere else. And they not be glad for that. They not be glad for that. But at least the council beat him up to Gangawan. But from Freetown to Moyamba, to Jala, to Bo, to Kenema, you name it, all the side of the road on cover. And not ever see the camera go waka na a bike ride park without the riders accusing the police officers of taking money from them. I remember when we talked with the riders, them Najala Mokonde. We meet up the police, the one green police, he get a bench at the road. Then say we see that police they sit down at that road today. All the bike riders then get for register to her. Anyone know? All the bike riders then get for register to her. We spend a lot of time, I think, now right way in the evening now commodity. We no meet and again. The bench no did it, no did it. But then say na you walk around one day. Then from the Boatama highway for go inside Mokonde. Now that side. Now they is set up in office, in a small office. Everywhere they accuse them. So how we go able to get structures, system in place with the police them, they sacrifice the well-being, the public safety of citizens them with money. How? Yes, it will be a hard one. I'm trying to piece together because that time the way we do, we talk to the bike riders. Why not agriculture? Why bike riding? We talk to them. Because that's something we I be planned for doing. All the side where we go. We talk to them. We ask them. Why not? Why not? When we upload that video, they yourself go hear from them. What made them feel say, them prefer for ride bike than do farming. The other one say farming a hard work. Bike riding na quick money. But at the same time, it's still the grumble say money no did it. It's going to be an interesting one where we upload them. Make you hear from the youth them at the provinces. What's in their own take about riding bike and do farming. Most of us in the diaspora, we get connection with the young people in a salon. No matter who's participating there. If somebody want to ask you to do business, what did they ask you for? Maybe you get a good one them. Because not to one, not to two, not to three, we don't ask me for say, oh, bike riding get money. For investors in bike riding. 2 or 3 years ago, motorbike cost 4.5 million with the license, everything. As we speak right now, it starts from 10 million to 12 million. Keke, when it started, it was 17 million. Right now, it's 25 to 27 million. Waiting, because they say, oh, you get money. So, even the price control no dey. So the people who invest parenting and they want their money back. Then they endanger the lives of the citizens them. That's what they do. That's what they do. So these are just some of the things that this particular issue expose. Say, from the bike riding, no helmet, overload, social services that we have, school authority for make decision, public health and public safety. But standing on me say we not go talk. That no mean. I bet you when this accident be happen, and I even call 117. It was in Moyamba. Okada rider say, he don't take dead body. Go na then hard to reach areas them. Not to one thing, not to two thing. Say because then the ambulance na the hospital they charge. So in charge less. Eh? May God help we. But again, we need to take precautionary measures them. Things them way not normal, we not for normalize them. Because you see lately, the road accidents don't boku. Because waiting, it's rain season. And people just feel say they can drive anyhow. I don't care which part of the world where me, Tripoli, they drive. As long as the road wet, afraid that one they pass all. When the road wet, United States, we all sabi. Say people them, we get pick up truck. Then can feel say they're untouchable. We can see how then they end up. Not so. We can see how then they end up. Then when they get pick up truck, we feel say like snow or rain, then they just drive anyhow. But me now one thing than the way a fair pass all. No matter whose country where they drive. What's water they not go on? Worst of all, we street then as alone. Where you see where sun commodities, the sun, so it shine. Please then they melt. Don't go far. Take right now from Upgon to PMB Junction, Calbaton. Before you meet outside the toll road, then begin Walkham. That road they not good again. If you say you go say, oh, na new road. No, it's not good again. Because the bumpy ride way they get under. Because the road don't melt. And the kind of towel they use. Now the kind of tar. And we get granite. Then they order and come. And then they blast for make road. You go say, oh, waiting can happen. Because we get time the way the humidities, they are like the last will be this alone. Man, I think the humidity was a Bo and Kenema then be worse past Friton. Bo and Kenema na be the worst past Friton. We me experience January, February 2020. It was hot and freedom, but Bo and Kenema, maybe they reached them and not even turn off the AC in the car. Because where you go, say you go do an interview, by the time you come back in the car. It's like na fire. Before that AC they go, man. But we do this talk so. Because of the assessment when they take do the road. They consider say, then can get rains, then can get rice. And where the rice can come, and so the sand they make. But other they evaluate the road to them. You don't ever realize, say, when you go along the streets, there are a look there. With where they in the west, now two different streets you they see. That is good. Salon are more of tar. The west are more of granite. Eh? God help us. But we see, we get somebody we don't donate already concerning the young man. We not get no direct contact to the young man right now. But however, we go try. If you feel say Yusuf get link or connection, because now the work alone, you can connect to Yusuf so that we go reach the young man. But definitely, people they don't, somebody, one person, don't begin donate. Sylvester Monday seems so starts this program, today program. It emphasize, say, in somebody will be the ride bike. You see some of them will be the ride bike today. I let them get all the necessary documents. Still, the police go harass them for making them take money from them. If you deny, then get in your ways. We then go charge you to court. They saying I be once a victim when the police ask him for in body license. Insure him. Later, he asked him for the biking license, insure him. He say he need document for the license plates, the number plates. He say he not be able to produce that one there at the moment. So the police be careful to take the bike on at the station. So now the main reason that the way some of the bike riders them, before them get out to go there, and go just give something to the police them. I don't think at Waterloo police station, let me say around about 10 p.m. at Simap Day. Every bike and every keke, because they get checkpoint today, where they come. Then Gaia they stop them. I don't care. Then they stop them, park in a corner, and take something from you. Without that, you know the cross. Without that, forget it. You know the cross. At the end, waiting and say, Nayana Salon. But not also we want them for being. We want to make everything work. Then we tell you, say, Nayana Salon. Again, we pray, say, the young girl in soul rest in peace, and we condolence to the family. We will try for reach out as people that don't suggest, people that don't begin donate. We'll try for reach out and see if you self get any link, please link way up so that we will see Usai. We will take this. We'll go there back tomorrow. Till we meet again, Triple A say, Tata.